Blackfacts.com presents Native American Icons, Chief Joseph. Chief Joseph was a Nez Perce chief who faced settlement by whites of tribal lands in Oregon and led his followers in a dramatic effort to escape to Canada. When the United States attempted to force the Nez Perce to move to a reservation in 1877, Chief Joseph reluctantly agreed. When tensions had erupted following the killing of a group of white settlers, Chief Joseph led his people to Canada, in what is considered one of the great retreats in military history. Chief Joseph was born Hinmatuyalatkekt in 1840 in the Wallowa Valley in what is now Oregon. He was a leader of one band of the Nez Perce people. His formal Native American name translates to thunder rolling down a mountain, but he was largely known as Joseph, the same name his father, Joseph the Elder, had taken after being baptized in 1838. Joseph the Elder's relationship with the whites had been unprecedented. He'd been one of the early Nez Perce leaders to convert to Christianity. His influence had gone a long way toward establishing peace with his white neighbors. In 1855, he forged a new treaty that created a new reservation for the Nez Perce. After gold was discovered in the Nez Perce territory, white prospectors began to stream onto their lands. The relationship was soon upended and the United States government took back the millions of acres it had promised to Joseph the Elder and his people. The irate chief denounced his former American friends and destroyed his Bible and refused to sign off on the boundaries of this new reservation and leave the Wallowa Valley. Following Joseph the Elder's death, Chief Joseph assumed his father's leadership role. As his father had done before him, Chief Joseph, along with fellow Nez Perce leaders, balked at the resettlement plan. As tensions mounted, the chief sensed that violence was imminent. In 1877, recognizing that a war could harm their people, the chiefs backed down and agreed to the new reservation boundaries. Just before the move, however, some warriors had attacked and killed several white settlers. Chief Joseph realized there would be brutal repercussions, and in an effort to avoid defeat, and most likely his own death, he led his people on what is now widely considered one of the most remarkable retreats in military history. Over the course of 4 long months, Chief Joseph and his 700 followers, a group that included just 200 actual warriors, embarked on a 1,400-mile march toward Canada. The journey included several impressive victories against a U.S. force that numbered more than 2,000 soldiers. But the retreat took its toll on the group. By the fall of 1877, Chief Joseph and his people were exhausted. They had come within 40 miles of the Canadian border, reaching the Bear Paw Mountains of Montana, but struggling with weather and starvation to continue the fight. Having seen his warriors reduced to just 87 people, his own brother, Ollicut, died, and many of the women and children near starvation, Chief Joseph surrendered to his enemy. Regarded in the American press as the Red Napoleon, Chief Joseph achieved great acclaim in the latter half of his life. Following his surrender, Chief Joseph and his people were escorted, first to Kansas, and then to what is present-day Oklahoma. Joseph spent the next several years pleading his people's case, even meeting with President Rutherford Hayes in 1879. Finally, in 1885, Joseph and others were allowed to return to the Pacific Northwest, but it was far from a perfect solution. So many of his people had already perished, either from war or disease, and their new home was still miles from their true homeland in the Wallowa Valley. Chief Joseph did not live to see again the land he'd known as a child and young warrior. He died on September 21, 1904, and was buried in the Colville Indian Cemetery on the Colville Reservation in the state of Washington. Learn Black history, teach Black history at blackfacts.com.